Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope all is well. I'm Will. This is Exposing Now WC, and I'm about to spend the next hour bitching about bad wrestling takes. Last 48 hours has been crazy. Last 48 hours has been very embarrassing for the IWC, wrestling fans as a whole. Some of these takes, my goodness. I mean, nonsensical doesn't even explain it. Doesn't really describe some of these takes I've been seeing. Feel free to add your own takes from you or others, things you've seen online, and I will react to it in real time. But let's start with what triggered me on Monday night. There was a segment. I'm just dive right in. There was a segment involving Liv Morgan, Dominik Mysterio, and Michael Cole. Michael Cole is having an interview with Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan will talk to him about who she's going to pick for Mania. She hasn't decided yet. She said she's been fighting and scrapping for 10 years, and she's not going to rush the decision. Yada yada yada. Right. Then you had not this. Oh, nope. Oh, I closed it. Never mind. Let me go. Here we go. So then Stephanie Vaquer comes in, speaking Spanish. She has intensity. She's cutting a promo on Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan doesn't speak Spanish. Of course, Dom was there to translate. Dom was translating, going back and forth with Liv, and also like shooting back at Stephanie. Stephanie basically tells her that, hey, I've been scrapping for 10 years. I fought. You've been here in WWE. You haven't had to fight. You haven't had to struggle. And I have. I've went to Mexico in my youth as a youth wrestler. I had to, go through all this pain and all this trouble. And you've just been here in WWE. Best trainers, the best wrestlers. And, you had it easy. And you're not ready for this moment, basically. He walked out. Liv Morgan ended up in tears. I thought this was a great segment. Different from what we see in wrestling. I thought it showed Liv Morgan having some complexity, some range. Not a robot. She's emotional. She's always emotional. She's always an emotional character. I thought it worked well having Dom there. It allows Stephanie to speak Spanish, and Dom can translate, and it works really well. Again, it's just a different type of scene. We don't get this type of stuff in wrestling all the time. So I thought it was very, very well done. And I'm very excited to see how Liv Morgan responds next week. But unfortunately, that was not the reaction from the IWC. Some of the takes that you're about to see are, let me see if I can pull some of this stuff up. So here's the first one that came up that I saw. Why is a face making a heel cry? In other words, this woman or man is suggesting that heels shouldn't cry. It seemed to make any sense for Liv Morgan to cry because she's a heel. Some people even went as far as to say Liv Morgan is turning babyface. Wow. Okay, so saying that a heel shouldn't cry, basically, essentially saying a heel isn't a human, right? I always wonder, why do wrestling fans have these type of takes when it comes to characters? When they see a complex character, they can't compute. Like, what's happening? Is it a heel turn? Is it a babyface turn? They're not used to having complex character or seeing it. That's because in wrestling, unfortunately, over the years, characters are mostly one note, static, flat. Bad guy, you say bad things. You're a good guy, you say good things. And there's no complexity, there's no range, there's no layers. So when you see Liv Morgan crying, oh my God, she turned babyface. The babyface turn, she's crying. Stephanie was a heel in the scene. What? What do you mean she was a heel? Some of these takes, Liv Morgan, she's finally turning babyface. The same woman who called Stephanie a puta last week and said she wasn't hot enough to wear a Dominik Mysterio shirt, that's the babyface. It's now I don't want to be disrespectful to these people, even though sometimes I was. Last 48 hours, I was kind of like, you guys are dumb. But I feel bad for them because what's happening is it's a reflection of wrestling and how characters are usually portrayed. Any type of complexity, any type of change, you think heel turn or face turn. So, but why was what they'll say? But why was Liv Morgan crying? Like, why is Liv crying? Well, probably because the character Liv Morgan has some insecurities. Okay, and when Stephanie went at her with that intensity, it affected her. Liv Morgan has been an emotional character over the years. She's always been emotional. I thought that's why fans of hers liked her for that. She's always been emotional. She's always shed tears. Literally used to have teardrops on her face. She's an emotional character. Cries often. It's not something that's new. So the fact that the character is showing some complexity, she's showing that it was affected by these words from Stephanie, it bodes well for the storytelling going forward. Okay? Liv Morgan has insecurities. Liv Morgan is dealing with certain imposter syndromes, okay? She's not, obviously she has insecurities. The woman comes around and says, I'm hot and you're not. She's insecure. And that is being displayed all the time. Through her action, her attitude, what she says, it all comes from insecurities. Duh. So it makes perfect sense for Liv Morgan to cry in this moment when is being flamed by Stephanie in a way that she was not prepared for. You're talking about babyface turn. No. Unfortunately, this will keep happening to people because in wrestling, we don't get complex characters. So you're going to be complaining or being confused by certain characters' motivations and certain characters' actions and how they behave. But if anything, you should be happy about this. You should want to see more complex characters that are more dynamic rather than being flat in one note, okay? That's number one. That's the one thing folks were complaining about. Stephanie going to be heel? No, okay? The woman's not heel. Nothing she said was heel, okay? Liv Morgan just cried, and it's okay for heels to cry. We've seen in our lifetime bad people who cry, okay? This is not something that's weird. Oh, a bad person crying? No, it's common sense, okay, right? She's human. That's number one. Does that make sense? Number two. Other complaint. Why is Dom in this segment? Can't Dom stay out of women's business? So you're triggered by Dom being in this scene because what happened the last time Dom was in a world title picture with the women. Love triangle thing going on. You didn't like it, okay? You didn't like that way it was booked. You kind of blamed Dom for that when really it was the writing all around. Even with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, it was just great. So now you think, oh, Dom's in this situation again, and now he's gonna be bad because Dom's in the middle of it. You're wrong, first of all. But okay, Dom is acting as a translator for Liv Morgan. Stephanie Vaquer, her natural tongue or her native tongue is Spanish. He can speak Spanish and have more range, more emotion, more fire and passion, and Dom is there to translate. Now you could say, well, why does it have to be Dom? Why can't it be Raquel? Well, if you agree that Raquel can step into Dom's position and nothing would change, then what's the problem? Why swap? Why make the swap? If Raquel can say every line that Dom said, then why change? It makes more sense for Dom to be there because Dom is her boyfriend and they're always together. It'd be weird for him to just disappear from Liv Morgan's scenes. They're always together. It's in character. It makes sense. Okay, this is continuity. So Dom should be there. And if Dom can speak Spanish and relay the information to Liv Morgan, then it makes sense. And there's no point of changing it, okay? I don't understand that. Like, Dom and Stephanie are not together, okay? They're not an item. They're not some type of secret love triangle, okay? So it's perfectly fine for Dom to be there and you don't have to worry about Dom hitting on Stephanie. I mean, what are we talking about right now? I mean, what is this? Some of these takes. Liv Morgan, she cried in. By the way, she cried in this segment. By the way, heels don't cry, right? Heels don't cry. She cried in this segment. It was a heel. Okay, this is dumb conversation all around. How about the next one? Involving the same segment. WWE gave you everything in a year, by the way, and this person shows Stephanie Vaquer's accomplishment. How do I say this in like the nice? So, sir or ma'am, there's a thing called kayfabe. Okay, it means it's like it's within storyline. It's what it is, right? It's not real. Is within story. Okay, that's what kayfabe means. And Stephanie, in kayfabe, won her championships fair and square, and by fighting and scrapping and winning, legitimately, had to beat Io Sky to win the world title she has now. She had to beat Julia in Madison Square Garden to win the NXT title. She's in character cutting a promo about her struggle and her fighting to win these championships and fighting to get where she's at. You bringing up real life booking it's stupid. Okay, it's nonsensical. What are you talking about? Like, what do you bring? Like, you can't be this dumb. You just can't. I just refuse to believe it. You're trolling. She's in character. Okay, she is in character. What's happening in Unreal is not an Unreal episode, okay? So what's happening has not in Unreal, in real life, backstage, doesn't got shit to do with the promo, okay? So she's not saying WWE creative handed her everything. It's in storyline. I would hope you understand that. If not, well, apparently you don't. Apparently you don't. I mean, this is just nonsensical take after nonsensical take about this Liv Morgan segment. And I'm like, this is actually good. For the first time, you're getting Liv Morgan showing some complexity. They're giving it attention. She's obviously going to pick Stephanie Vaquer. I mean, the week before, she slapped Dom. This week, she's crying due to her words. Obviously, she's going to pick her. Now, if next week, Liv Morgan comes out there and cuts a babyface promo and says, hey, Stephanie, I don't appreciate what you said. I fought and scrapped to be here, and I'm going to prove to you that I belong. Well, that's a babyface promo, and I'm wrong. They turned her babyface. I doubt that's going to happen. What's going to happen is she's probably going to take those insecurities. She's going to take that emotion. She's probably going to attack Stephanie. That's what she's going to do. Leave her laying, and then pick her to be her opponent for WrestleMania. That's probably what's going to happen. Now, hopefully they do that in a way that's compelling and interesting, not just, run of the mill. But again, this overreaction to this segment is just asinine. I'm sure there's other shit I forgot, but beyond Dom being involved, beyond Liv Morgan going babyface, and beyond Stephanie saying that Liv Morgan didn't fight and scrap to be here, obviously she's in character. Stephanie Vaquer did not monitor Liv Morgan's career. She wasn't in NXT watching her get called Carmella 2.0, okay? She's watching from afar. In character, she lived her life. She got to WWE. She saw she'd been here all year, or her entire career, and thought, well, you didn't have it that hard. You're not doing a deep dive on Liv Morgan's career. Talking about her struggle, going to Mexico at a young age, getting her face broken at like 18 or 20 years old, however old she was, going to Japan, fighting, scrapping, building up her name, and making it. She's saying my struggle was more difficult than yours, and she's not monitoring and documenting, and she didn't watch the documentary on Liv Morgan's life. So Liv Morgan doesn't mean Stephanie is right, doesn't mean Stephanie is correct, but her perspective makes sense. So I'm confused by this reaction from the IWC. They were bitching about Stephanie feuding They were bitching about Stephanie feud being stale because of the language barrier. Now that there's a bridge to that barrier, they bitch and complain. Thank you, Cyber. You are correct. In one breath, they're saying Stephanie can't speak English and she can't cut a promo and she's boring. So now they bring in someone like Dom who speaks Spanish to be a bridge, and oh my God, I can't understand what you're saying, or oh my God, why is Dom there? They don't know what they want. So, I'm here and we're here to be logical and make sense, while folks in IWC bitch and complain and make themselves look. That fair? Was I wrong? Let me know. Now let's move on to another topic. Blake Monroe. Last night, Blake Monroe was in a segment with Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley is the speed champion. Blake Monroe he walked into the room and she happened to be there. DM said, you know what, Blake, there's an opening for the speed tournament. Why don't you join? You'll be taking on Thea Hale. My mind, okay, this makes sense. Unfortunately for Blake Monroe, Jada Parker, her feud right now is off the table because Jada Parker got injured. You saw what happened last week, I believe. Went for a suplex on Jada Parker. Jada Parker did not flip up, and she ended up taking a bad bump on her neck. And apparently that was the spot. And now Jada Parker is out injured. Who knows how long she's going to be out? So unfortunately, they have to pivot. So they say, okay, this is what we're going to do, Blake Monroe. We're going to put you in a speed tournament. That'll get you in a program with Fallon Henley. That'll get you in a program with Thea Hale, cutting promos, having segments, being in the ring wrestling. It's good for you. You'll be on TV while we figure this out. Makes sense to me. They had to pivot. Did the IWC understand that? No. What I'm seeing from the IWC is, oh my God, get her off of NXT, put her on the main roster. This is horrible. Why do you have her in this position? Why do you have her in this speed tournament? This is horrible. They have the AEW folks saying, oh, Toni Storm was right. Mediocrity. Once you listen to me closely, you idiot. Jada Parker got hurt. Her partner in this feud is injured. Are you stupid? Like, I can't take, like, they're doing it they're trying to piss me off. They're trying to piss me off in particular. Nobody else, just me. Jada Parker is hurt. Her partner in the feud is hurt. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? They have to pivot. So in the meantime, give her something to do. So why are you bitching? Why are you complaining? Why are you putting up these stupid memes? Why are you bringing up Toni Storm? Why? The hate this woman gets is out of control. It really is. The hate this woman gets makes no sense. She is in a program with Jada Parker. Jada Parker is injured. What do you want them to do? I saw somebody say, oh, we can take her out of, I think it was King who said it. Take her out of the, like, okay, at the pivot, we'll put her into in the program with Kendall Gray. Maybe they had plans for Kendall Gray. So the easiest way to address a situation like this is to not change so many things, right? You don't want a domino effect. If one person is out and now Blake Monroe needs something to do, you don't pull somebody from another program, because then once you do that, you got to fix that problem. And once you fix that problem, you got to fix the other problem, right? It's a cascading effect. So what you do is you fix the one thing and leave everything else the same. Very possible that Kendall Gray has a program. I'm convinced she's going to drop the belt soon. And the next time she defends her Evolve belt, she's dropping it to, what's her face? PJ Vesa, what her name is? About to drop the Evolve belt, I think, right? She has a program. She has stuff to do. She has shit to do. You don't want to disrupt all the feuds. So you have to address the one problem and hopefully keep everything as is. But putting her in the speed tournament for right now, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. What's wrong with Fallon Henley? Like, what are you trying to say about Fallon Henley? Be champion. Like, what are you trying to say? I mean, I don't know how many times I can say this. Jada Parker is hurt. What do you want them to do? The work? Why do you say that? Maybe it is. Maybe it is a work. I don't think so, because that bump looked bad. The bump she took looked bad. Let me see if I can find that bump. Because can't play it. Look at this. Look at her head. Where her head is at. That's the bump she took. The middle of the match. Look at that angle. She's supposed to. That's a terrible suplex, by the way. Jada Parker was supposed to jump into it and she didn't. She took a bad bump on her neck. Look at that. That's supposedly when the injury happened. We don't know for sure. Now the Sol injury was different. That was fake. That was obviously fake because the woman had a leg injury and she was taking bumps. She had a leg injury and they was bumping her like, oh, well, she's obviously not injured because no way in hell she'd be taking a bump with an actual leg injury. But Jada Parker, that neck looked like it really was cranked on that move. I saw that Roxanne got surgery. Hope all is well. Did see that. But yeah, some of the shit I'm seeing online, man, it's just really unfortunate, man. People are just stupid. Okay. Do me a favor. What have you seen? Give me some questions. Or give me some bad takes you've seen. Let me see your takes. But I had some in mind, but I forgot which. I know there's another one that I was supposed to bring up, but I can't remember what it was. I see a lot of stupid shit, unfortunately. What's in the crate? Who knows? I mean, if it's a person, it's stupid because, I mean, why the hell is a person in the crate? But it probably is. Or like some type of statue. I have no clue. I got no clue who's in a damn crate. Don't have a take, but I would like for you to talk about Fallon Henley and the Reed theory. What's the theory? I did say on Twitter that I think it's possible that well, I've always said that Fallon Henley will be the reason why JC Jane drops her belt. Now, technically, I'm wrong because if we're being completely honest, they had a swerve where Tatum passively won the belt. Remember that? But then JC Jane got it back. But when JC Jane dropped the belt for real and dumped the belt, I think Fallon Henley will play a part in that. Because every time JC Jane retains, Fallon Henley is one of the reasons why, the main reason why, the only reason why, really. I figure, okay, the day when Fallon Henley doesn't interfere, Jane will lose. Now, last night, JC Jane cut an amazing promo. By the way, if you haven't watched NXT, if you haven't seen that segment they did, I believe the segment that happened between JC Jane and Sol Ruka last night was the best women's segment we had all year. So early this year, we've been with a month and a half. That was the best women's wrestling segment. That was fantastic. Jane cut an amazing promo. Felt real, honest, Talk about how she is jealous of Sol Ruka, and talk about how she was disappointed and how Sol Ruka got to wrestle on John Cena's final show, and how Sol Ruka is getting all the opportunities. Felt real because Obafemi was the NXT champion. He wrestled on that show. Jane, the women's champion, she didn't. Shows you the hierarchy. They see Sol Ruka as a star over JT Jane, at least. And at the Rumble, what happened? Jane was eliminated. By who? Sol Ruka. So Sol Ruka is the big fish in NXT right now. And JT Jane is the champion. And if we're being honest, that can make you feel a certain type of way, right? You're human. I'm the champ. I'm not the chick, right? I'm not the one. I'm the champ, but I'm not the one, right? How it is. But she put that in a promo. It felt real. Talk about how she was underrated and how she was put on great matches, and it was like a great promo. It was. And then so Ruka came out and cut a great promo herself. I think it was the best promo she cut in NXT in her entire career. I thought it was clear, it was confident, it made sense. I thought it was the segment was fantastic. I thought. Go back and watch that segment. Go back and see it. Go see it if you haven't seen it. I thought it was the best female wrestling segment we've gotten in 2020. I'm going to make a point. I can't remember. The Fallon Henley theory. And during the promo, after Ruka cut her promo, JT Jane basically said that, hey, I learned, bringing up the whole Gigi Dolan storyline, I learned that you need to basically take your friends out, betray your best friends to get on top, because there'll only be one. There'll only be one person on top. During that moment, Lainey Reed had a look on her face. She looked over to Fallon Henley. Is this just Lainey Reed freestyling out there? Or is that a tell or a foreshadowing of the Fallon Henley turn or the Lainey Reed turn? Well, ultimately, will they both betray her? Will they both leave her high and dry? Are they doing something with fatal influence that we don't see coming because of that moment in the promo? Fantastic scene. Fantastic segment. It was great. We might be getting JT Jane versus Fallon Henley. I think the move, let's say Sol Ruka wins. Let's say she beats Fallon Henley. Oh, not Fallon. Let's say she beats JT Jane. Some may say, well, what are you doing with JT Jane? You can have the turmoil within fatal influence. You can have JT Jane, Lainey Reed, Fallon Henley program. That could work. While you do Zarya versus Sol Ruka. I think it's very possible, regardless of what happens, even if Sol wins, I can see Zarya turn. And cost Sol Ruka. I can see Zarya turning later on at Vengeance Day. For example, let's say Sol Ruka wins. Zarya says, hey, can I get a title shot, friend? Okay, I'll give you a title shot. Different ways you can go about the Zarya Sol Ruka feud. But for JT Jane's sake, program with fatal influence could work if it's her versus Fallon Henley or her versus Fallon Henley versus Lainey Reed in a triple threat. That could work too. But yeah, there's things to do with JT Jane. I'm more worried about post dropping the belt. Once JT Jane drops the belt, I'm very curious of what they're going to do with her. I love JT Jane. I think she's great. Well-rounded, good on the mic, good in the ring, has presence. All-around great worker and great performer, and I think she's awesome. She's a great athlete? No. Special on the mic? No. But she's good at everything. And I think she deserves to have her place on that main roster. I'm hopeful that they have something planned for her when that comes to go up. She's awesome. Great seller, just great all-around talent. I just feel awesome about JT Jane. Sol Ruka is what the company like, but the fans also love. Yes, the complete package. She's what the fans like. They love her, and the creative team, the head honchos, think she's great. Getting all the opportunities. The fact that they haven't called her up yet, I would not be surprised if she got a run in the NXT with the championship. But I also see her getting called up. It goes both ways. There's no need to rush folks to the main roster, especially during Mania season. People are saying, "Oh, call Blake up." Right now, it's kind of weird because right now they have the storylines kind of locked in. They're nervous about calling other people up because there's so much time and space to tell the Mania storylines. You don't have to worry about telling the storyline for a new person called up, which is why Royce Keys just got signed. Ain't really nowhere because you have to focus on the main roster builds, the main Mania builds, right? And you can get lost in the shuffle if you're a call up right now. So it's too late. I would not call anybody up. Don't call up Blake, JC Jane, Sol Ruka. Just ride it down to Stand and Deliver. After Stand and Deliver, you call them up. Whoever. If that's Blake, if that's JC Jane, if that's Fallon Henley. I would sincerely hope that this is the last stretch for JC Jane and Fallon Henley. I think they're both going to drop their belts. They both should go up. If not, I'd be worried. And there's two female talents that would hurt my heart if it did not work out. Aiden Paxley, JC Jane. Both very, very good. They both worked their ass off in NXT for so long. If either of them didn't make it on the main roster for whatever reason, that would hurt my heart. Okay, they deserve to be rewarded for their hard work in NXT and pushed because they're good talent. I'm not just saying that because, I'm a stan or like them. No, I legitimately think JC Jane and Tatum Paxley are good workers, great talent, can do it all, and should have a chance to make it on the main roster. Do you see them doing Zarya versus Sol as Stand and Deliver? Yes. For the title, I think at this point, it should be for the title because there's no match for JC Jane right now. There's no match for her. The story is Sol Zarya. So just pull the trigger and put the belt on Sol. There's no person, unless you want to build up Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray drops the Evolve Championship, and then you do Kendall Gray versus JC Jane. But that didn't make sense considering, if we're being honest, the top storyline is Sol Zarya. That's the top storyline in the entire promotion right now. By that, I mean NXT. The title in the entire brand is Sol Zarya. So just go ahead and. Why is Mariah May trending? See, this is probably AEW fans just bitching and they can't leave her alone. Why are IWC fans losing their minds over Mariah May being in the speed tournament? I don't know why either, Big Z. I don't know why. I mean, like, these people are like, they're obsessed with her. Like, Mariah May, aka Blake Monroe, haven't said shit bad about AEW since she left. And people just can't get over the fact that she moved on. Anyway, Sol beating JC Jane is probably a good way forward. Yes, I agree. Probably. Just go ahead and put the belt on Sol Ruka and tell your Zarya Sol Ruka story that you've been telling for a damn year because it's been a long time. A long build. I think it's the fact she left after a great match. No, the issue they have is that she left in general, and because she's a, they call a WWE soldier, so they feel like they've been betrayed. It's so stupid because we're talking about wrestling promotions, not your family member. Tony Khan is not your damn dad. They feel betrayed that Blake Monroe was always gunning for WWE the entire time. They feel betrayed that she didn't want to be here the whole entire time. But who cares? Like, this is a wrestling promotion. It's not your father. It's not your family. Not your wife. Not your girlfriend. Okay, it's a promotion. Stop treating the AEW like it's your family because it's not. Blake Monroe did not betray your family. Okay, Liv is probably turning face. Richard, did you watch the beginning of my stream? If you haven't seen the beginning of my stream, don't feel bad when you go back and watch that, okay? So I did make fun of people with those takes. Liv Morgan is not turning babyface. The woman called Stephanie a puta and said she wasn't hot enough to wear a Dom Mysterio shirt. What are we talking about right now? What's happening is Liv Morgan is showing some complexity. She's showing some range, like a real human being. Next week, when she attacks Stephanie, tells those insecurities, you'll be saying, oh, my bad, oops. He means face when it comes to the Raquel feud. Oh, really? Oh, my bad. I wasn't paying attention. All signs point to Raquel turning on. Oh, okay, my bad. my chat. To be fair to me, my chat square, I only see like 5 at the time, so I didn't see your tweet or I didn't see your message before. If Sol goes the main roster within next year, it'll basically be the female version of Javon. In what way? Before I respond to that, in what way? She'll be. Let me tell you what's going to happen with Sol Ruka. Write it down. When Sol Ruka gets called up, she will not lose. She'll be booked stronger. Right now, she'll be booked stronger than Tiffany. Y'all thought that Tiffany push was strong? Wait until Sol Ruka hits the main roster. She ain't losing. It's going to be even stronger push. Saying right now, this woman is in NXT. She got to the final 3. Okay, this woman is everything they like from a height standpoint, from a look standpoint. Gorgeous, athletic as hell. You're gonna get the Tiffany push, if not hard, if not stronger. You might be getting the Bianca push, like Royal Rumble win out the gate. That's what we're talking about when it comes to her. Now, you saying Javon Evans in terms of like she's going to have the exciting matches, she'll get a lot of spotlight to showcase her athleticism. I agree with that. But in terms of push, the Sol Ruka push is going to be stronger than the Tiffany push. Write it down right now. Neither can Tiffany. You say Sol Ruka can't carry a match. Tiffany is still working on her in-ring and her promos and her being a superstar. 300-day reign. Okay. This is not the men's division. In the men's division, you gotta wait. For the women, Exhibit A, Tiffany Stratton. The Sol Ruka push will be like Bianca Belair. Write it down. The Sol Ruka push will be somewhere between Bianca and Tiffany. Tiffany had Money in the Bank win and 300-day reign. Bianca Belair won the Royal Rumble and then won the main event of Mania. It'll be somewhere in there, somewhere between those two. Stronger than Tiffany, but probably not as strong as Bianca's push. Early on, within the first year. Sol Ruka is going to be at the top of the card. The top of the card. Same with Tiffany. They should do the same for the men, but they don't. Femi should have won the Rumble. I maintain that. I don't care what anybody says. I put money on Sol Ruka winning Money in the Bank. I only would say it won't happen because they did that with Tiffany. They won't do the same thing. I can see her winning the Queen of the Ring. I can see her winning the Rumble. I'm telling you, the Sol Ruka push. He has everything Triple H likes: athleticism, great look, and tall. The Sol Ruka push will be stronger than the Tiffany push. Right out the gate. I need to see Sol Ruka with the NXT title. It might happen. I think it might happen soon. Gets up there. The woman beat Bailey clean. He was invited to John Cena's show, his last show, and beat Bailey clean. The woman on main event, you know how main event called people up for main event and have little matches here and there? She lost on main event. But how did she lose? By interference. They protected this woman on main event. Never seen anything like it. Usually you have a match, two people wrestle, and the person loses and whatever, right? Usually how it goes with NXT. Lose clean and whatever. Who cares? They protected her on main event. Sol Ruka push will be legendary. Tiffany was undefeated for a while as a heel. Sol Ruka is going to be undefeated as a... Okay, write it down. Just write it down. She ain't losing. You get pushed very strong. Then again, Bianca lost, right? She lost within the first year, but it was by interference. Sol Ruka will not lose clean. She'll lose because you want to have a face, have sympathy, but she won't lose clean. Bianca lost within her first year, but she lost because of Bailey cheating, right? And she won the Rumble. Sol Ruka will be booked very strong. Very, very strong. So will be a Tiffany, but more ready and better. Nasty push. Nasty if you be strong ass push. The Roman Reigns push, no, not that. Like I said, somewhere between Tiffany and Bianca. Not as strong as Bianca winning the Rumble and winning the main event of Mania, but stronger than Tiffany. Somewhere in that. Tiffany, she lost to Naomi, by the way. Lost clean to Naomi. Lost clean to Naomi. Any other questions? I'm done. I'm talking. So, look at Nikki Blackheart. I think she's getting signed. Why? Because she got that look. Size and the look. Bigger girl. Big, beautiful smile. Got that look that they want. And she's getting signed. Maybe not right away. May wait like they did for Rain Leverkusen, but she's getting signed. Who's getting the last chamber spot? For the men or the women? EO. It'll be EO. He'll get in. EO or Raquel, right? I think EO gets in. Now, the only thing that will stop me from saying 100% certainty, they may want more heels in there. Because right now, Asuka is the only heel. Then again, both champions are heels. It makes sense to have a bunch of faces when both your champions are heels, right? It makes sense. Jade is a heel. Liv is a heel. So the people that need to be in the match be faces. Now Asuka's in there. Need Raquel. Raquel just had a match with Stephanie Vaquer for the world title. It's possible, but right now I'm going 85 EO, 15 Raquel. So I think EO gets in. Victoria Uzuki versus Chika Goto will be entertaining. I agree. I've given Chika Goto some shit over the years, but he can put on a good match. I like the interaction they had last show they did. I think they're gonna have a good match. The Demon, Victoria Uzuki, she can have a good match with Chika Goto for sure. Here's a little interaction. Bang! Knee. Bang! Runs the ropes. Clothesline full flip over. Well done. She gets up because of that fighting spirit. Come on. Grabs her. Reverts into a suplex. So that suplex they should have did on NXT was when Blake and Jada Parker did their little suplex. This is how it's supposed to look. It's not what happened. Jada Parker landed right on her neck. It was rough. Bang, and it goes down. I'm confident to have a good match. I'm sure they'll have. Easy retain for Vittoria Tsuki. Easy money for Vittoria. FID, you see, okay, that's it. Did you see the busted open interview with Dakota Kai about her WWE run? No, did that just happen? I did not see that. Who wins the men's chamber if not Cody? The answer is Cody, but if not Cody, Cody. LA Knight, zero chance. Zero. Why? LA Knight's program is with the Vision. Vision on Raw. LA Knight wins the chamber. He leaves the Vision storyline and heads over to SmackDown. Cody is winning. Or Yuzuki, the young ace. She sure is. The young demon. Is Seth facing Bronson at Mania now? If you want Seth on the show, yes. Or you pivot to Seth Brock. If Brock is going to be like a monster for the Vision, but yes, it'll be Seth, Bronson, Reed probably. They have history. Brock beating LA Knight will give the IWC, will have the IWC going nuts. I can see, at first I laughed at that. Like, how the hell are you going to do LA Knight Brock? But now it makes sense because LA Knight is with the Vision storyline. Maybe to get tired of LA Knight. You know what, LA Knight? We got something for that ass. Come out Brock Lesnar. Get Brock versus LA. Here's the thing though. Knight has to win. If he doesn't, what are we doing? That's like the ultimate. See, guys, we like LA Knight here. If LA Knight beats Brock Lesnar, that's huge for LA Knight. But it makes sense because right now LA Knight is a thorn in the Vision's ass. So if Brock gets a call from Heyman to face LA Knight, then it makes sense. What's Gunther's Mania plan? Either Rey Mysterio or Penta. Either Rey or Penta. Probably Rey. Kind of scary because Rey Mysterio is getting older and you worry about him taking bumps. Penta's in the IWC title run right now, yeah. IWC case. Wait, so you had Liv and Blake discourse on your timeline and not Bailey? Oh yeah, let's talk about Bailey. So whoa, wait a minute. Tony Khan was live. What is Tony Khan talking?
Slam Australia. It is way up over last year's show, and it's one of the highest Saturday AEW Collision numbers ever in the regular time slot. Very excited. That was great. And here in Sacramento, everybody's fired up for a big Wednesday night Dynamite tonight. There's so much to look forward to tonight. I'm really excited about this show. And I have to say,
5 minutes
back from Grand Slam Australia, it was huge wins, defending the TBS title, but she's in a very dangerous position. Her unbelievable record in AEW, very dangerous Mark Davis. He wants payback.
Okay, enough. Heard enough. Go talk about your Wrestling Observer Awards, my guy. Of course, Grand Slam would be good ratings. It was, yeah, exactly. Probably had some damn Olympics too. Probably had the Olympics sandwiching it as well. Probably. Probably open with Olympics and close with Olympics. Right before and after. Anyway, what was I saying before I looked at Tony Khan? I see Dom versus Finn, non-title at Mania now. I'm not sure what's happening with Dom and Finn. They're actually going to do that? I'm not sure. Let's see how the Finn and Punk thing wraps up. Right now, Finn is in like he's going back and forth with JD McDonough right now. JD's upset with him. Dom not really upset like JD is. So we'll see what plays out with Judgment Day. We'll see how it goes. Rock versus Obafemi is dead? Probably. Well, it depends. If they don't do LA Knight Brock, I can see Obafemi Brock. I think Sammy Trick is the one people aren't talking about. I see Sammy Trick at Mania, but folks aren't really talking about that one for whatever reason. Like every time you see the predictions, you never see Sammy Trick. I think it's obvious they're setting up Trick. Every week, Sammy and Trick are talking about each other. Trick said that Sami Zayn smelled like what 10 years or 10 pounds of bouncing that ass? What he said, something like that. We're getting Trick versus Sami Zayn at Mania, by the way. It's happening. Could Sammy beat Jacob Fatu? I still say it's Randy Orton, but I have no evidence to back that up. Who knows who attacked Jacob Fatu? They may have forgot about it. Maybe they hope we don't remember. Maybe they won't remember that we had Jacob Fatu get attacked by somebody. Maybe they'll forget. Sammy or yes, it's gonna be one of those two, I guess. I didn't think about Sammy. I didn't think about him, but maybe it will be him. Happy birthday to the icon. IU birthday was today. I didn't know that. Trick's promos have been very good. It has been. He's Mike. He's a superstar. Dude to believe who. Now here's a question: if Trick faces Sami Zayn, who wins? Who wins the Sami Zayn Trick Mania match? I think both could lose and be fine. The question is, if Sami's going to win the championship next year, which I think will happen. Sami's going to win the championship next year. Should he lose this year's Mania? I think he'd be fine regardless, but I think Sami Zayn will probably win that. Trick's bulletproof. I think he's such a star. He can lose to Sami Zayn and be fine. Who faces the Usos at Mania? I don't know. Who cares? Who faces the Usos? I haven't the faintest. I have no clue. Theory and Bronson. Yikes. Yikes. That's my response to that. Yikes. AJ Styles at the PC. Why we at the PC? Well, you see, got to get one more training session in before he heads to AEW and faces Omega at All In. To be prepared for his AEW run. Of course. By the way, we're getting a tribute to AJ Styles next week on Raw. They had the New Day and the Viking Raiders on the card last year, so I wouldn't. It'd probably be like a multi-team match, some sort. Lucha Bros, that'd be cool, but I don't think so. They'd have to win. Lucha Bros have a tag match at Mania. They have to win. I think Penta will have the IC title. I do think eventually Ray Phoenix will get the US title eventually, though. Liv Morgan to impress. Look at that. Good for Liv.
it's like I can imagine.
Good for Liv doing the press for the Mania, talking about who's going to face, yada, yada, yada. She earned it. She deserves it. I love Liv Morgan. She's awesome. Good for her. No way Phoenix has been completely jobbed out. No, he has not. He'll beat. I think he'll beat maybe not Melo, but I think he'll have the US title eventually. I think so. I think so. What his last singles win, sir? Ray Phoenix? I don't know. Means Melo went a bunch of matches without winning a match. He lost a bunch of matches in a row. As US champion. Crazy how Liv was a jobber in NXT and now she's a way. Stuck to it. She stuck with it. She worked on her game, worked on her character work, worked on her promos, worked on her in-ring. Reaping the benefits. I mean, that story. From the PC. PC success story shit. Who's Joe Hendry's stand and deliver opponent? Joe Hendry's stand and depends on who they want to push. Tonga can win the US title and then Ray Phoenix can beat him for it. Gotta do something about the MFTs. Like a what? Yeah, they're bad. I mean, it's unfortunate, but no one really cares happening with them. Anybody think Solo gets kicked out of MFTs? I'd like to see Sol Ruka. I'd like to see a Solo Sikoa face run eventually. That'd be. He's good. Very entertaining. Wasn't Evil going to come to WWE eventually, apparently. Who knows when that's going to happen? Who knows when that's going to happen? We don't know. Aha! I knew it wasn't crazy. Collision did 561K against the Olympics. End of the NBA dunk contest. Aha! Well, people forgot to turn off the TV watching the dunk contest. They fell asleep. Dunk contest was so bad. Dunk contest was so boring. They fell asleep with the TV on. On came Collision. There's always a catch when it comes to these AEW ratings. There's always a catch. Dunk contest was on NBC. Then what the hell is old man talking about? Was it up against the dunk contest, he said? Let's see, Collision did 1K against the Olympics, end of the NBA dunk contest. Okay, he did it against it. Okay, gotcha. Against it. Doesn't include HBO Max, more viewers than last year than NBA dunk contest. And much lower. I'd love to know what were the other lead-ins for that show. Without a big sports lead-in. Okay, never mind. But fine. I concede. Well, it was basically a pay-per-view on TV. NBA not on TNT anymore. Imagine Evil is in the crater that would be. Can you imagine the crate? Evil in the crate? That'd be terrible for Evil. Nobody knows him. That'd be bad. they'd be better off with doing Jericho. Even though I don't really care to see another old man on TV. They'd be better off doing Jericho because at least people know him, right? Hey, better not be a person. If it is, it doesn't make any sense. We'll see. Maybe it's a statue of some sort. I don't know. It better not be a person because that's. Imagine if they open up the crater. Imagine if they open up the crate and you see a dead body in there. Because of course the man died because he had no food for so long. Evil is 39. He's not that old. Probably another egg. Maybe it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know. It could be anything. It's a whole mystery box story device. J.J. Abrams loves so much. Go listen to J.J. Abrams talk about this mystery box. They're doing. What with The Rock? That'd be a terrible way to promote The Rock. You want people to buy tickets, you want people to show up, you tell people beforehand The Rock is showing up to get interest. Who knows? Chris Jericho is still in their contract, remember? Chris Jericho is on lock and key. Tony Khan won't let him out. I saw some folks complaining about this one. So there's some people, Yoshi World, who are not fans of this booking. Got Uber Eats, the champions over here, Yuki and Wakana, facing off with Casey Lee and Jesse McKay, and folks are upset. Like, why is Uber Eats facing off with Icon? It'll be fine. I mean, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, it's all fun over there. They have goofiness over there. They have wizards and pandas fighting. It'll be fine. Okay, they fit right in. It's a one-off. Maybe they bring some fans over. Maybe some folks will watch Wrestle Universe, check it out. I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. There are some Joshi stands upset. A really big deal. Fit right in. The Iconics viewing on a house show is still questionable. It sure is. That was weird. Have them, they were, maybe it'll be on the show tonight, but that was so weird to have them announce we're signed on a house show when Grand Slam was right there and there's a tag match. Let me get this straight. They had Lena Cross, who I like. They had her show up at the end of the tag championship match instead of the Iconics, aka the Generation. Why not have them show up tag match? I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense. Literally had a tag match on the show, championship match. So why didn't they debut? Why didn't they debut on this show? Doesn't make any sense. But I'm tired of trying to make sense of Tony Khan's bullshit. Tony Khan's a weird one. But yeah, Uber Eats retains for sure. That'd be a good card. It always is. It's always a good card. I don't know why they're upset. Always goofy over there. I don't know. Maybe they think that they're taking away spots. And I can understand that. Okay, we want to see. There'll be no build. They're just showing up to have a match. Maybe they think it's not fair to the other talent. I don't know. The card is set for a few days from now. We already talked about this one. Victoria versus Chika Goto. That'd be a good one. Tournament finals for the trios belts. So the winner, I think, here will be team of Mai Sakurai, Natsumi, and I think they win this match. Do the first belt for Arena. I think they win. I think the heels lose here. I think the baby faces win this one. That's my guess. I don't think Darkness Revolution needs another set of belts right now. I think the baby faces win here. I would be surprised if Darkness Revolution wins the special match. I'm not too familiar with the woman on the right. I do believe she is retiring soon. So she's getting a special match against Mayu before she retires. I'll check that out. And then we have this match, which is not for the title. So in storyline, Kiyaki is trying to get a world title shot. It's Miku. Miku thinks she's a degenerate, refuses to give her a title shot. So this is a singles match without the title, and we'll see how that goes. If Kiyaki wins, maybe then she gives her a title shot. I don't know. I didn't really read the latest segment between these two. I didn't really read the translation yet. I'm guessing if she wins this match, she gets a title shot. Dakota Kai is either signing with TNA or AEW, probably. That's what. Okay. Any last questions before I wrap it up here? You guys watching AEW tonight? What's on the AEW card? Let's see real quick. What's on this card? What's on Dynamite tonight? Let's check it out. We have Omega versus Swerve. Oh, big one. Omega Swerve. Look at that. Big match tonight. What else we have? The card. I don't want to listen to Tony Khan. After weeks of anticipation, former AEW World Champion Jamie Hayter and Winza make their TV debut as the Brawling Birds. So they're in a tag team as well. Remember when Jamie Hayter was the biggest thing in AEW? Remember when she was like the most over woman in the entire roster? Now she's in the Brawling Birds with Winza. See how that goes for Jamie Hayter. There's a time when I thought Jamie Hayter was like the one that the WWE should go after. I'm not sure I feel that way anymore. Probably all because of Tony Khan. Moxley versus Mark Davis, huh? Or there's an eliminator match. These matches are so stupid. Beat the champion for a chance to face the champion. I hate eliminator matches. It's stupid. If you pin the champion, you should be champion, which is why I don't love even the Mari Gold match between Miku and Chiaki. If Chiaki beats her, she should be champion. If you face the champion and you win, you should be champion, period. I don't like these eliminator matches. Oh, another one tonight. You know what? I'm watching the show tonight. I just out of myself. I think there's a chance we could see Megan Bayne win this belt tonight. There's a chance we can see Megan Bayne beat Willow. Guess who's taking a pin? Mina. There's a chance Megan Bayne pins Mina tonight. Sorry, Willow, you might drop the belt tonight. I can see Mina getting pinned by Megan Bain tonight. We'll see. Willow losing after 1 month doesn't feel right. Well, it's Tony Khan. I mean, Ciampa lost the belt in 12 days. Ciampa lost the belt in 12 days. We'll see. If Omega Swerve closes the show, then maybe they don't do the title change. If the TBS title closes the show, then it's over for Willow. But we'll see. A loaded Dynamite, huh? Face to face between MJF and Adam Page, huh? Maybe I'll have it on in the background. But this is a loaded Dynamite. We'll see. He literally beat Mercedes, who held the belt for 18 months. Don't care for Hangman at all. Beat up. Omega versus Swerve is most likely the main, probably. Not a fan of Willow's booking. I agree. She's a double champ right now. A double champ. She dropped one of those belts? I think so. Considering how the women's division is so bloated with not much people getting chances, I think it's only fair kind of spread the belts around. So no, as much as I like Willow, I don't think she should be a double champ. So take the belt off of her, put it on Megan Bain, or have them drop the tag titles. I don't care. Why are people hating on Hangman? I don't know. I don't care for him. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. I'm indifferent when it comes to Hangman. Love him or hate him. He just... Dynamite looks solid. See, I'm fair. I'm a fair-minded individual. Dynamite looks solid. Solid show. Good. Fallon Henley, that's the post. What is Eggplant talking about here? Saying that what Triple I has more TikTok followers than CMLL. All right. Any last questions before I wrap it up here? Got 2 minutes. Surprise, Triple I has a bigger TikTok presence and Twitter. Twitter, TikTok, and Twitter. According to what I just saw. I mean, I'm surprised by that. But then again, I don't know shit about the Mexican wrestling scene. What do I know? We're going to talk about how CMLL has dropped the captain rules. A lot of discourse about that. People are blaming